Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Lisa and I am on Lumdeedums, which is my channel name. Now this is a very specific video and it may not be for everybody, so I do need to put a warning right at the beginning that, as the title will suggest, this is a video all about how to do at-home inseminations. So if it's not appropriate for you or those near you to listen to talk about bodily fluid and genitals, you might want to switch off, because I'm gonna talk about them all. Maybe not all of them, most of them, possibly all of them. I'll give you a minute. We all good? Everyone okay? Everyone here for the right reasons. And also another warning, teens or, you know, young adults who think they're going to get some kind of kick about a lady talking about vagina, yeah, this is probably not going to work for you, and if it does, you might want to seek some help. At-home inseminations is a way to get pregnant for anyone who doesn't really want to have sex and is able to get pregnant. Obviously, so being female and stuff like that is kind of handy here. So we are going to be talking about vaginas and stuff, as I said. So one of the first things you need to do is make sure nobody's got diseases, okay? This is the first step before everything else. Make sure you haven't got diseases, and ideally get psychological screening to make sure you're mentally okay with this. Next up is the sort of people that will do inseminations. That can be anyone. I'm just messing around with things. The sort of people that use inseminations can be couples struggling with infertility and they want to see if this is going to help. Couples who are using a sperm donor for whatever reason, or couples using a surrogate like myself. I'm a traditional surrogate, so I use this process to basically help other people have babies. So I use my own eggs, I do inseminations, and I carry the baby for other people. If you do want to find out more about surrogacy or anything like that, do check in the description bar below. I'll put some links, or just search Lumdeedums, and if you look at my playlist, I've got quite a few surrogacy playlists. So it's kind of where I am in the world, is a surrogate. Now, after you've made sure no one's, like, you know, disease ridden or anything dodgy like that, because, you know, sharing is caring and everything, but we draw a line at syphilis, okay? Just throwing that out there. That's not a nice thing to give someone, ever. Just keep it to yourself. There's some drugs you can go take to deal with that. So once we've got past all of the formalities, we're going to talk about how to actually do it. Now the first step is to actually track. Now I have a clear blue, apparently clear blue advanced fertility monitor, where you will put all of your details in, and as you can see, there are my 2 peak days, and it tells you fertile days, low fertile. It's pretty much idiot proof. You pee on a stick, you put it in. I'll talk more about this in another video, but it can really help you. But if you're not willing to spend that money, this is a free app. So just for this video, I have added some information onto this for you. I've put in my ovulation, and I've also put little hearts. Personally, for inseminations, I like to do the days before and the day of ovulation. I know some people will do the day before, the day of, and the day after ovulation. The only thing you really want to think about here is that you need to leave at least 24 hours between inseminations to get the best quality sperm. Now on my phone I showed the day, 2 days before and the day of ovulation, because they are the most classically used days, but actually you'd probably be better doing it 4 days before ovulation, 2 days before ovulation, and the day of ovulation, because sperm outside of the body is pants. It dies quite easily, but in the right environment, in the actual uterus, it will live on average for 5 days, and some can even live up to 10 days. And as the egg only survives for about 24 hours after ovulation, you're actually far better to have sperm up in there ready for when the egg is released than actually doing it after the egg's been released and just hoping they reach the egg in time before it dies. So it's a little bit questionable. There are a couple ways to actually do at-home inseminations. Some men will like to produce the sample directly into a sterile pot, and they or the surrogate will sort of suck this up into a sterile syringe, not with a needle obviously, And when you do that, you do want to keep the semen sample warm, because it really should be kept at body temperature. Some people actually purposefully hold it at body temperature for 5 minutes so it gets more fluidity, and some people will like to do insems sooner rather than later, but you want to keep it warm, like by holding the syringe or popping it down your cleavage or in between your thighs, anything that reduces the amount of time of it being cold between one person and the next person. Some surrogates will use the syringe to basically release the semen as close to her cervix as possible. So basically you want to get all up in your vagina and get as close to your cervix and slowly release. Do not do that. If you do that, it will not end well for anybody. You want to get as close to your cervix as you possibly can and very, very, very slowly release the semen. And then we do tend to use gravity because that is just going to come out if you move too much. So a lot of people will put a towel over a couple of pillows, prop themselves up on a bed so their bottom is up and their head's sort of going down, and then rest for at least 20 minutes after you have set the semen free in there. Other women will, after using the syringe method, will pop in a cup. This is a soft cup. This is disposable. It comes packed in boxes like this and packaged. You can get them on eBay and Amazon. They're not the cheapest thing in the world, but they are really handy. And this is what it looks like. And you can use it for periods this way. But because the area is put right in the bottom, you want to turn it inside out so it's actually shallower for doing at-home inseminations. So some people will pop one of these, or a menstrual cup. This is a shorty menstrual cup from Maluna. Pop one of these in afterwards and try and keep everything as close to the cervix as possible. Other people will put the semen sample directly into these via the syringe and then pop them in, because all you need to do with this, for example, I much prefer this, is do the C-fold, pop it in, and it will naturally pop open, and I'll leave in for, I think I'm going to go for 12 to 24 hours when it comes to inseminations. That is my plan. I think this is just, if you look at the size difference, I mean, come on, that's I'd rather the dainty one, thanks. I like walking. Other men will very bravely aim directly into the container that you are planning on using, and then the woman will take it and pop it in. We might try that. You never know. I don't know. We'll find out when we do inseminations. But I have done it like this, using these before, and I have fallen pregnant and given birth to a traditional surrogate baby. All of that has been documented on YouTube if you do want to check it out. And it works really well. And I find the thing to do is lift your butt in the air, because gravity does help. I mean, it's not great for your boobs, but it's great for inseminations. Lift yourself up and just try and keep everything as close to your cervix as possible for at least 20 minutes. And I do that even with this in, because I want that to be, you know, putting the right fluid, the fluid in the right place for as long as possible. And then I will leave this in. As I said, I'm hoping to leave it in for 12 to 24 hours after inseminations, and obviously washing it between uses. Let's not be gross. So that is pretty much all it is. It's very basic. You want the semen to be out of the body for the least amount of time as possible. Some people swear by holding it out for 5 minutes and warming it up. Other people swear more of them die. It is all down to, with personal preference really. If you have any questions, do comment below. Any observations, again, comment down below. And if you're a bit embarrassed about asking questions, you are free to inbox me on YouTube. I will make an effort to actually check my messages on YouTube and get back to you. You'll also find me in various different social media ways, platforms, whatever, again in the description box. So let me know if you've got any queries or questions or anything, and I will see you in my next surrogacy information video. And if you've got any ideas of what you would like me to do, again, let me know and I will do my best, and I will see you all later. Bye.